Good morning, warriors. Woo! Here it is, Wednesday. I just want to share with you this morning. I read this article titled How the Mediterranean View Aging and How It Can Completely Change the American Mindset. Opened my eyes to is the fact that we here in America often think of aging as this horrible event that happens to us, that these wrinkles that we get are something we should be covering up. We should be Botoxing. We should be putting all these extra cream, whatever, and hiding the fact that we are aging. And the gray hairs, and yeah, I do have gray hairs. I'm very fortunate that I don't have a ton. They're there. And I just think that part of this journey of aging is a new chapter to embrace and something that we can do to make it the best chapter of our lives is many of the things that Laura and I promote on a regular basis. It starts with your attitude, right? Your mindset. Like, yes, this is a beautiful time in my life. I have more time to do things, especially if you are possibly retired or maybe you've cut down in your work time. Now is a time to embrace those crafts that you never had time to do before. Embrace learning something new. Like that is so important to keep our mind healthy, our mind active, is to embrace learning something new. Like let's keep living, and we've still got 10, 20, 30 years left to enjoy our life. Let's embrace it and make the most of it, right? One thing that is very true amongst people who live in the Mediterranean is they are very family oriented and community oriented. So even if you don't live near your family, you can adopt family. Like, oh, Janice, she's an adoptive, I put it in quotes, but she's an auntie for some beautiful little girls, and they're such an important part of her life. She not only gets to care for them, be their caregivers on occasions, she also enjoyed a full day with one of her adopted family members. They went and saw a play, and then they went out to dinner and had ice cream, the whole works. And it's something that when we embrace these moments and really continue to share our wealth of knowledge as we age with those who are younger than us, and also enjoy that time, that energy that they bring. Anyways, in the Mediterranean, this was interesting. This article showed that as people age, many times they continue working, but maybe in a different capacity. And I think the example it showed is, someone who was a restaurant owner who was very active in all aspects of the restaurant. Well, maybe as they got older, they became the maitre d' or whatever. Like they would greet people as they come into the restaurant. So still an active role, but not that hustle and bustle of being in the kitchen or being in the serving aisle, all of that. But staying active in whatever capacity. Also a great time to consider being a mentor. We have a lot of knowledge, a lot of wealth to offer. If you are a teacher for your whole career, consider being a mentor to someone who is a new teacher, and maybe you can teach them some of the lessons that you learned over the years. Or, if you're a carpenter or some kind of tradesperson, embrace that and teach some young person some of the skills that you learned, and maybe that will help them choose a path, decide if that's something that they can do. Anyways, there's so many things that we can do. But also the Mediterranean, let's think about their diet, their way of eating, lifestyle, diet. It's really more of a lifestyle. They eat a lot of whole foods, right? They don't engage in all of that highly processed junk that we are bombarded with here in the US. They eat lots of plants, olive oil, fresh fruits, fresh vegetables, the protein, a lot of fish and lean protein like poultry, just a small portion of the entire meal. The bulk of their meal is made up of all of these fresh grains and fruits and vegetables, and that's really an avenue that would do us good to embrace as well. Staying active, continue to walk, continue to ride your bike, continue to, you know what? If you don't live near a town, I live in the country, so I walk on my streets, but I'm thinking when going and doing some shopping, to go to a little town and just walk up and down the streets and enjoy popping in little stores. I mean, that's the kind of thing that will keep us moving. Fight this, not that we're going to fight aging, but really embrace those skills that we have so that we can continue to age as healthfully. It's about health span, and that's something that Dr. Peter Attia talks about, is improving our health span as opposed to our lifespan. And what that means is improving the amount of time that we're living healthfully, right? Not just how can we stay alive, but how can we live lively. That's what we want to do. And doing strength training is so important. And you might think, okay, that's building all the muscle. No, it's really using your body, doing squats so you can sit in the chair comfortably without plopping down. Can you do that? Can you sit in the chair without dropping those last couple of inches? That's really, really important. And all it takes is doing a few squats. I do them now in my kitchen. I've been doing this for a while now, but when I'm in the kitchen and I got something on the stove, and I'll just do 10 squats. The other day I was filling up my water pitcher to water my flowers, and I just did, I'm just standing there waiting for the water to fill up. I did 10 squats. It's easy to fit these in, and our own body weight is one of the best things to use for strength training. I really went off track of my talk here. But that's okay. Let's see. Remember to laugh. Oh my gosh, laughter is so important in everything we do. And again, it comes to that mindset. If you're feeling sad or depressed or lonely or something like that, get together with a friend and just chat so that you can laugh, so that you can enjoy your time together. Put on a comedy show. If there's certain types of comedy that you really enjoy, put that on. I have a couple of stations in my car one is called Pure Comedy. It's nice because it's family friendly, but I'll sometimes pop that on and listen to that. And yeah, just to get a few good laughs in. It's just so important. Eat more real foods. That was in here. Joyful movement, stretching, stay socially connected. And really remember that it's taking these small steps and embracing what we can, what works for our lifestyle, what works for you. I also want to share with you that Laura and I have a masterclass coming up on Saturday, and we would love for you to be there. I will drop that down below in the comments so you can join us. It is really about aging healthfully and keeping our mind. That's it. It's protecting our mind as we age, and that's really the subject of our talk on Saturday. It's helping to prevent or decrease your likelihood of getting dementia and Alzheimer's. And there are things that we can do, and it all comes down to a lot of these simple things that I'm talking about, but we'll give you even more in-depth talk on that on Saturday. So I would love for you to join us. It's at 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central. We'll be here. I hope you will too. Embrace this chapter of your life and remember that the better we are at keeping ourselves healthy, the better this chapter is going to be for us. The more we'll be able to do, the more we'll be able to continue to give, the more we'll be able to continue to embrace. It's all about really doing the most we can to keep ourselves as healthy as we can. I love you, and I look forward to talking to you real soon. Bye-bye now.